life shows how cruel and unfair it's capable of being when your 15-month-old baby boy, Kobe, passes away just a few months ago. I'm really sorry.
Thank you.
And it is the most unimaginable thing.
Yeah. That's something that I never imagined. And all of a sudden, nothing really matters. All of a sudden, you realize that you were complaining about a lot. Instead of feeling blessed, being grateful, you were complaining about things that didn't work. But in fact, everything was working well.
How are you?
How am I?
Yeah.
Alive. I mean, surviving, but not the same. I don't think he will ever be the same. And I can't explain how in just 15 months, I mean, I still ask myself how in just 15 months, a kid or a person can take this much space and be, basically became you, to the point that when he's gone, you feel like you're missing too. Just 15 months. I mean, 2 years ago, he wasn't there, and I was living good. He came and he left. And I felt like, I don't know, it's a weird type of thing. Basically, like, after what I was saying earlier, like, my whole life was about to fight in order for my family not to go through those situations, not to feel powerless or useless in the situation, and for the very only person that I should fight for, I couldn't. I didn't even have a chance. So sometimes only that idea is painful.
You didn't have a chance.
Yeah, he wasn't sick. We didn't have to take him to the hospital. Didn't have anything like that. I wish I could have, like, take him to the hospital, find for a good doctor, like make calls and do stuff, feel like I'm useful. I'm useful just as I always want to be. So that was it.
Is it possible to have you been able to grieve and process it?
How do they grieve? How do they process it? I never learn. I never know how it works. You just feel it. Some days you do with it, some days you do without it. How do they deal with that kind of situation? There's not a how they say, there's not a process that is set up to learn how to go through. People will do it in different ways. And how long it takes to grieve. When did it stop? Whenever.
One of the big conversations in, I think that's become quite popular, is the idea of mental health and protecting our mental health and being aware of our mental health. When something like that happens to you, it's the most, I mean, I don't have children yet, so I've not been through something like that, but I can just imagine. The way that I try and imagine it is I have these wonderful nieces and nephews in my life. My brother is a year older than me, has 3 children, and they're like my children in a way. And just the thought of something happening to them is the most unimaginable, crushing feeling to me. And men in particular aren't very good at dealing with things compared to my partner, for example. She's very expressive, very emotional. She expresses how she feels. What are you like at expressing how you feel?
You don't learn how to express. I think I found myself very emotional at some point, more than what I thought. It's not something that you command it, you don't control, just happen. And then you discover yourself.
And you're still in that process.
Yeah. You discover your own self. You think you've been through a lot. You think you're strong. You thought you were strong. You realize you were at all.
How is your family? Your family, your mother, everybody else?
Surprisingly, I think a lot of people are doing pretty good, better, which is, for me, a surprise. I always walk around like the toughest guy until now.
Until now?
Yeah. And I get to, just being tired, just getting tired, being tough. I think it's exhausting. Being tough means you have to be through over and over to a lot of shit, which just not easy to deal with.
Because people see you as they see you as a tough guy. They called you the predator.
I don't know. I've been questioning myself about that lately. Yeah. That's why you see people trying to know somebody, pretend to know somebody. Meanwhile, they don't even know themselves. Like, you can know somebody who doesn't even know his own self. You don't know who you are. You don't know what you can do, what can affect you, how you can deal with things that never happened to you. So you can't expect to know that about somebody.
What have you been questioning in yourself?
If I can deal with stuff. If I can handle stuff. Been doubting about my capability of stuff sometimes.
What are you talking about? In terms of dealing with stuff, handling stuff? Emotional things?
Yeah. Like, even emotionally. There's some days that you wake up and you think about stuff, about everything. And you really like, what's the purpose? What's the goal? If it's going to end up like this? What's the purpose of fighting if I will end up not being able to fight for the only person that I can fight for? Let's talk about something else.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If you love the Diary of a CEO brand and you watch this channel, please do me a huge favor. Become part of the 15% of the viewers on this channel that have hit the subscribe button. It helps us tremendously, and the bigger the channel gets, the bigger the guests.